And we're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on Sunday, May the 4th. All 30 teams in the MLB play today, and we've got our 5 best bets for today's schedule. And folks, before we get into the best bets, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. Later today, we will have our NBA playoff predictions. 2 games again today in the NBA with the Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers. Their game 1 from Ohio and game 7 in Houston, Texas, between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. So make sure to go check out that video here in a couple hours on the channel. And also, later today on Greedo Plays MMA, we're going to have our UFC 315 predictions from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, and Jack Della Maddalena in the main event for the welterweight championship. So make sure to check out that video again later today on Greedo Plays MMA as we get on to the first of our 5 best bets. And we start with our first money line of the day. I don't think you can get much worse than our money line pick yesterday, one of our 2 money line plays. The Toronto Blue Jays are banned until further notice, okay? That's all I'm going to say, all right? They're winning that game the entire way. Yimi Garcia comes in for the 9th inning. He's 2 pitches away from ending the game, and then a grand slam for the Guardians, a Sheeman, and the game's over. Yeah. Great. The Blue Jays, they're banned. Yimi Garcia pitching, his 4th outing in 7 days? Yeah, I'm going to stay away from Toronto for the foreseeable future. Anyways, our first money line play today, actually our only money line, well, you'll see. We have a parlay going on later in the day as well. We're starting, though, with the Royals money line here in Baltimore against the Orioles. This one feels just too good to be true, which kind of makes me a little concerned. Yesterday, a 4-0 victory for the Royals in Camden Yards in Baltimore. Chris Bubich, who's been pretty good this season, actually really good this year, goes 5 shutout innings, and the bullpen comes in and gets the job done as well, pitching 4 more shutout innings. The Royals win it 4-0. It was a pretty dominant performance for them, right? I mean, I can talk to you about how great Bobby Witt is, even though he didn't really do anything yesterday, but Vinny Pasquantino hit a home run. Cavan Biggio went yard as well. And the same story is, still there with the Baltimore Orioles. It's just, their bats are lackluster right now. Right? Adley's batting 217. Gunner's got the average up to 250, 3 hits yesterday, but still, Ryan Mountcastle's batting 200. Kjerstad's batting 200. Laureano in the 180s. Jorge Mateo's still batting 9th, batting 140. Yeah, they're still a lifeless team. And the problem that they still have as well is that their pitching staff's not very good, right? Yesterday, Sugano went to, he's going to give up runs, but Sugano is going to give you innings and he's going to stay in the game. The problem for Baltimore tonight is that, or this afternoon, is that they get Kyle Gibson on the mound, whose first start as a member of the Orioles was atrocious. And sure, you can say, oh, it's just the Yankees. I understand that, but he couldn't locate in that game, and when he did, it was center right down the middle, 90 miles an hour. I don't know. Kyle Gibson's first start against the Yankees, he goes 3 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs, 5 home runs, and 2 walks. The 37-year-old from Greenfield, Indiana, this isn't good. 22.09 ERA, I understand it's 1 start, but now you get the Royals. Sure, this is not New York. The Yankees are obviously the best hitting team right now in the MLB, it feels like. Aaron Judge is batting .434 right now. It's insane. Regardless, I think Kyle Gibson's washed. I think he's like Charlie Morton, who was just sent to the bullpen for Baltimore. I think these old heads in their rotation are not very good. And sure, again, Orioles fans I've seen have been complaining about, ownership and what their, I guess their front office has done to this team compared to where they were a couple years ago, obviously, or actually they were a playoff team last year. But just seeing where the Orioles, the core has gone and how their front office has spent money, I get it. They're really upset. And for good reason, right? I mean, you're looking at Kyle Gibson. It's 1 start, sure, but my goodness, that was a horrible first start. And I think he'll bounce back a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be to the point where they're going to win today. I think he's going to give up 5 runs at the minimum. And I think Kansas City, who's the better baseball team, should go out and win the baseball game. The Royals are 18-16. The O's are 6 games under 500 at 13-19. And I think they're going to get sent to 7 games under 500 with a loss today. The Royals send Michael Lorenzen out to the mound. Lorenzen's just been kind of mid. Serviceable is a better way to put it. 3.4 ERA. He'll go pretty much 6 innings in every single game that he pitches. The problem is you'll likely see 3-ish runs scored in every outing that he has. But Lorenzen's going to give you, he's going to give you innings and he's going to stay in the game. And he's facing a pretty mediocre right now Baltimore Orioles lineup. So I don't really mind that out of Lorenzen. And again, I don't think Kyle Gibson's very good. Sure, it's just one start, and that's against the Yankees with, Aaron Judge, with Paul Goldschmidt, who had who I think hit a home run in that game. Cody Bellinger, I know, went yard. I understand Trent Grisham hit a first pitch home run. I get that. I think the Royals are going to jump all over Kyle Gibson as well. And guys, I think it's just an Orioles thing. I think this team's horrible right now. Could they turn around? And maybe. But again, I expect their bats to get it going, right? I don't expect Adley to finish the year batting 200. I never would have thought, by the way, I would see a world where Keibert Ruiz is having a better year than Adley Rutschman, all right? I remember 3 years ago, I'd have discussions with people about how Adley Rutschman was never gonna be as good as Keibert Ruiz. That was before, obviously, both of them were in the majors. But, hey, maybe now it's finally coming true. Anyways, Ruiz is going a little cold right now. But anyways, shout Riley Adams. But I think the Orioles bats are eventually going to turn around. The pitching, though, can I tell you Kyle Gibson's eventually going to be really good this year? Charlie Morton. Sugano, who's not bad, is really just a pitch-to-contact guy. Dean Kremer's been bad as well. I know he won his start a couple days ago, but we're taking the Royals to win this 3-game set, right? It's split right now 1-1. I think the Royals will win the third game, and I like the pitching matchup a lot for us, and I think the Royals bats are better as well. So give me Kansas City coming off that 4-0 victory yesterday. I'm taking the Royals to win today as well. Give me KC on the road as underdogs. We get them at plus 110. I like it a lot. Give me the Royals. Next up, our second best bet of the video, it's our best player prop of the day, and we go to the Bronx for the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. Our best prop today is Ben Rice over on hits, runs, and RBI. I think I'm going to start to go to this a lot more than total bases. I don't know. I could go either way with it, but yesterday we had CJ Abrams, right, on the over hits, runs, and RBI. It was 1.5. And that was over in the first 5 minutes of the game, right? Abrams singles, and eventually he comes around to score, and we're done in the first inning, right? And if we had total bases, sure, again, Abrams had 4 more at-bats. He did have a hit, I'm not mistaken, later in the game. But regardless, we got that over within the first inning. I know the odds aren't as good as total bases, but I don't mind hits, runs, and RBI. I kind of like it now. So that's where I'm going to go with Ben Rice today. It's minus 125 for the over 1.5, and I think it's a good value. So the pitcher tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays will be Taj Bradley. Bradley this season with a 4.58 ERA. We can get into him a little bit later. But we always like to look at historical significance or historical stats and matchups between these guys when we do player props. And as we're looking at the Taj Bradley versus Ben Rice stats, only 6 at-bats, but Ben Rice is 4 for 6 in those at-bats, right? 2 doubles in the process as well. So again, he's batting .667. I like that a lot. Ben Rice has the highest average on the New York Yankees against Taj Bradley, with the exception of Oswaldo Cabrera, who's 2 for 2. And Bradley, again, has only had 40 total at-bats career-wise against this New York Yankees team. But still, again, that's telling, right? When Ben Rice has had that much success against Taj Bradley, slug is at 1,000. That's great. And Taj Bradley, again, has just been mediocre this year. Last start, probably his best start of the year against the Royals. He was 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. He's a guy that's going to give you length in a game, right? But he's going to give up hits and he's going to give up runs. Bradley, again, still fairly young, only 24 years of age. But I like the matchup a lot for Ben Rice. And we look at the Yankees, guys, the success this team's having right now. Best team in the American League? Probably. I know they lost yesterday to the Rays, but I think this is the team that we all expect to probably be there at the end of the season, at least in the ALCS. I'd like to say the Detroit Tigers will probably be there too. I don't know, right now that's probably my ALCS, Yankees, Tigers. But regardless, right, this is still a very good team. They're a team, if they can get hot at the plate, they're going to, of course, put runs on the board. I know we're not talking about Aaron Judge today, but you look at yesterday, Aaron Judge, another home run for this team. He's batting .432, and I understand, again, yesterday his home run was only a home run at Yankee Stadium, but you can't fault the guy for playing in a stadium, right? I mean, again, it's his home ballpark, right? He got drafted here, so what the hell is he going to do, Aaron Judge hit his 11th home run of the season last year. I know they lost the game, but the Yankees are still pretty dominant. And I think Ben Rice, who's batting third in this lineup, will get a lot of opportunities to score, right? He's batting behind Aaron Judge, and I get it. It feels like every other at-bat right now for Judge is a home run, but still, Judge is going to be on base. There's going to be traffic on the base paths, and there's going to be opportunities for Ben Rice to knock runs in. And at the same time, again, we could just get this done with 2 hits as well, right? The advantage of taking this compared to total bases, I think, for me personally, right? I mean, Ben Rice could hit a double here, and I get it. That, 1.5 total bases, that would have cleared. But even with this, right, Ben Rice in the first inning, let's say he doubles, Goldschmidt right behind him knocks him in, boom, we've already hit because we got, hits and RBI, right? I don't know, just the way I see this, because again, you look at, I'm going off a little tangent here, but you look at total bases, right, and some guys, we wouldn't hit on that unless we had 2 singles. Well, the same thing happens here. I get it. odds aren't as great. But even with, here, yes, you can get 2 singles and win, but you get an opportunity to just win with 1 single, obviously, if you drive in a run or if your guy comes around to score at the same time. So anyways, I just like this more. Again, I understand the odds aren't as good, but I think it's going to give us a much better chance to win on a daily basis, right? So we hit with CJ Abrams yesterday on the same exact prop, and we're going to do it again with Ben Rice, a guy who's batted .667 career-wise against Taj Bradley, albeit only in 6 at-bats, but I think he sees some more success today. Ben Rice this season batting .255, batting in the 3 spot, surrounded by guys like Judge and Goldschmidt. Guys are batting .432 and .329 respectfully. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for Ben Rice today in a game where I expect the New York Yankees to get on the board early and score, so I think Ben Rice will be a big part of that. So we're going Ben Rice on the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI today. Feel like it's a pretty good line for us, and we're going to take it for our second best bet of the day. Let's move on to our next one, and we go to our Nerfy of the day. Yesterday's Nerfy didn't go too well. Thanks, Max Mayer. It's okay. The Marlins ended up walking off the Athletics, walk-off grand slam against good old Mason Miller. Shout out Cade Stowers with the walk-off. Anyways, pretty sure it's Cade Stowers. Anyways, we're going Nerfy today for a matchup between the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. Another one kind of like the Royals game I was talking about earlier. It kind of just feels too good to be true. I don't know. -135. The Nerfy did not hit yesterday, by the way, in this Cubs-Brewers game. It was a Justin Turner single yesterday that scored Ian Happ that broke the Nerfy, and that was a pitching matchup with Jameson Taillon and Jose Quintana. So it's the third game, obviously, of this 3-game set in Milwaukee. The Cubs have won the first 2, 10-0 and 6-2. Obviously, Chicago has been playing like the better team this season, but what I was looking back at earlier and referencing is, okay, it's Shota Imanaga and Freddie Peralta on the bump. The 2 aces of these 2 respective, rotations, and Imanaga's a guy with a 2.77 ERA this season. Freddie Peralta's a guy with a 2.52 ERA this season. Both these guys have been spectacular. Can they get us 6 outs? I feel inclined to say yes. We're going to look at the matchups real quick. Shota will probably get Jackson Churio, Bryce Churang, and William Contreras, excuse me. There's some power there, obviously. Churang's batting .325. Yelich in the 4, who honestly, he's had his moments, right? The Grand Slam in San Francisco last week, but as a whole, Yelich hasn't been too great this season. I think there's a lot of matchups that really favor Shota, in my opinion. And then we look at Freddie Peralta against the Chicago Cubs. There's guys at the top of the lineup. I'm not going to deny that, right? That's going to be the harder out, obviously. Hell, yesterday the Cubs scored in the first inning, and it was Justin Turner, of all people, who brought in the run, and he's the guy batting .167 this year. But definitely, the way tougher matchups are going to come with Freddie Peralta versus the Chicago Cubs. I'm looking at Ian Happ, who's batting .287. He had 2 hits yesterday. Kyle Tucker is playing his way into one of the biggest contracts that we're going to see in the offseason this year. Kyle Tucker is batting .284. He had a home run yesterday. The guy's great. Seiya Suzuki batting .281 in the season, and then you get past him, and then you get Carson Kelly, who has emerged into an incredible catcher, likely the All-Star game catcher from the National League this season, it appears. He's batting .368, and the power numbers are coming with that as well. So I understand that, but Freddie Peralta has been really good, obviously, his entire career, but he's been great this year too, right? 2.52 ERA. His last start, I get it was the White Sox, but 6 innings, 2 runs, it is what it is. Start before that, Giants, little difficult, but I look back at his start prior to that, on April 18th against the Athletics, 5 innings, 7 hits, 0 runs. And you might want to laugh, oh, it's the A's. The A's are a really solid team this year. They lost yesterday, but the Athletics are good, and that's a very good young core who knows how to barrel the baseball. And then you look at, again, Imanaga. Guys, had a great last start. And yes, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is what it is. But against Pittsburgh, on the road, he goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 0 runs. Imanaga is usually pretty good to start games. Look at that Padres start earlier in the season, 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Shota's solid, and I think there's some good matchups for him. Again, the lefty-lefty matchup against a Christian Yelich if we get there, right? Against a Bryce Churang. There's lefty-lefty spots for him early in this spot. I don't think William Contreras is going to really hurt us that much at the beginning of this game. And I think there's a lot of potential for this Nerfy. And obviously, again, the odds, indicate that, right, at -135. But I'm going to take it here. I'm willing to play that up to the line that we're getting at 135. And I think Shota Imanaga and Freddie Peralta are going to be able to get us those first 6 outs in Milwaukee today at American Family Field. So we're going Nerfy today, Chicago and Milwaukee, Shota and Peralta to continue our day with our best bets. Okay. Next best bet of the day is Washington Nationals money line Every time I lay off Nats money line, they find a way to win. I'm not complaining, right? Not complaining. But yesterday, a huge win for the Nats. I saw it coming. We hit our bet with the Nationals regardless with C.J. Abrams. I did say yesterday, I kind of felt like they were going to win. My only worry with that was Trevor Williams, but I thought the matchup for Nats versus Nick Lodolo was going to go very well, and obviously it did with 6 runs for the Nationals. Incredible. And we got to talk about James Wood, right? 4 hits yesterday for Wood. Got the batting average of the season up to 273. And we need to say now, the guy is no longer, we're not talking about James Wood about, oh, his potential's so great. No, he's arrived. Like, he is that guy right now. He is in superstardom mode already at the young age of 22 years old. James Wood's already that good. 4 hits yesterday, average in the mid-270s. I'm not telling you he's going to be the most valuable player this year, but that's going to come in the next couple seasons. That's how good James Wood is. I mean, I'm watching this guy, and guys, when he pulls the baseball, it is incredible, right? Saw that in the game against the Orioles earlier this year. When Wood pulls it, he pulls it 119 miles an hour into the seats in right field. But the guy's got great opposite field power. And then yesterday, I mean, sure, again, some of those hits against the Reds, not the most impressive. But he taps the ball 20 feet, and the guy's got blazing speed, and he can beat out any infield hit. I mean, it's incredible what we're watching. This guy's a freak in nature, and he's going to be the face of the sport in the next 2 seasons. You think Shohei Ohtani's great? Wait until James Wood gets into his prime. And no, this is not comedy. I'm serious about this. That's how good James Wood is already. And again, he's already a star right now. Just wait and see what happens in 2 years. When that guy's 24, he's going to be winning the MVP. And not just one. This guy will finish his career with at least 3 MVPs. I'm serious about that. He's that good. Just wait till he starts consistently pulling the baseball. He's starting to now. We saw that development from last year. He was kind of just hitting opposite field power, obviously, and he still will do that, but man, he's pulling the ball now too. Oh man, he's dangerous. Anyways, James Wood with 4 hits yesterday. The Nats win against the Cincinnati Reds, a great victory. Every time I'm so down in the weeds with the squad, they keep pulling me back. They win 11-6. Shout out to Ahmed Rosario. Guy's a great hitter against left-handed pitching, and then against righties, you can't really rely on him at all. But Ahmed's great against lefties. My goodness, that was a moonshot in the left field that he hit yesterday. C.J. Abrams got the average up to 290. Everything's really coming together for this team right now. Riley Adams was great. We need to play him more. I love Keibert Ruiz, but Riley Adams needs to be playing at least 2 games a week. And then Dylan Cruz, we're still waiting. I'm going to be honest. Dylan Cruz went from batting 230 to back down to 195. Just, it's fine. Just keep him in the lineup. He'll figure it out, I hope. He will. Trust me, he will. This is a very classic Nationals letdown spot, I understand. And this has happened not just this year. This has happened in the last, 4 or 5 years. Every time the Nationals have a really good game and they look incredible, they have a complete letdown spot the next day and they look horrible. I'm going to say that's not going to happen today just because of who's on the mound for both squads. I think Nick Martinez is horrible. He's not very good. He's a pitch-to-contact guy. He's like Trevor Williams. He's probably a little bit better than Trevor Williams, who actually battled yesterday. I'm not going to get into the Trevor Williams situation. You'll probably hear a rant from me next time Trevor Williams starts. I think his next start's probably against the Guardians? No, not the Guardians. He's going to be pitching against... Who do we play for the Guardians? Oh, Atlanta? No, St. Louis. Oh, honestly? No, he might get through that start. I think the Cardinals are just bad, I'm going to be honest. Just in general. Anyways, Nick Martinez, again, he pitches to contact. He's not very great. Last year, the Nationals, I was at the game Nick Martinez pitched against the Nats. Somehow the Nats ended up losing that game. It was a Christian Encarnacion Strand walk-off home run against Kyle Finnegan. But regardless, the Nats hit Martinez fairly well. If I'm not mistaken, I think Trey Lipscomb went yard against him. I know Lipscomb's in AAA right now, but that was Lipscomb's first career home run. Actually, I know that was that game. But anyways, that's when I thought Trey Lipscomb, by the way. I mean, I was like, oh man, like we hit the jackpot. Welcome back, Anthony Rendon. It's Trey Lipscomb. I think Lipscomb should be, by the way, on the active roster right now. He should be part of the 26, but who cares? He's batting like 500 this season, and they sent him back down to Rochester. Regardless, I know it's only like 6 at-bats, but still. Nick Martinez, right? The Nats got him last time against, Cincinnati to start the year, right? 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 5 innings. They worked counts. They looked pretty good against Nick Martinez. This is a guy that doesn't scare me. If he was a left-handed pitcher, I'd be really scared. I'm not going to lie, because the Nats do not hit soft pitching lefties, right? Like, Nick Lodolo is not that, but like, anyone who's just a crappy left-handed pitcher, doesn't throw the ball that hard, then I'm scared with the Nationals, because they can't hit that. But a righty, I'm not too concerned at all. That means Nathaniel Lowe's probably going to hit the ball in outer space. We'll see if Josh Bell's back. If he's not, oh no. Alex Call, who bats 328s in the lineup instead. I love Josh Bell. Again, I want to make that very clear. I've talked about this before. But, I don't mind watching Alex Call play instead. Just going to be honest. Luis Garcia, obviously, should get a good matchup today. Keep Ruiz back in the lineup. Hopefully the day off did him well. But, guys, we're expecting Abrams and Wood and Lowe at the top of the order to completely rake against Nick Martinez. I could see Dylan Cruz actually getting a night off today. They might do that if Josh Bell's back in the lineup. If Bell's not back, no, Cruz has to play. But Jose Tena back in the lineup. Like, there's going to be a lot of really good matchups for the Nats today against Nick Martinez. And, to make it better, Mackenzie Gore pitches. So that should be a shutdown start. Gore still leads the MLB in strikeouts. The guy's that good. He's, 59 strikeouts this season. He's incredible. I expect, let's just say 6 innings, probably 1 run. I expect the Nats to get at least 4 on Martinez. The Nats had 15 hits yesterday. Again, it would be so Nationals to give us a complete letdown spot today. But I think yesterday, again, just shows what the Nationals can be if they put it all together. This is a wild card team if they can really start putting together wins and, figuring things out. We'll see. Hey, I like the Andrew Chafin move. Chafin comes in yesterday, looked great. We'll see. I got Nats money line today, though. I feel really good about it. So let's knock on wood there. Plus 105 for the NATS. Nats. Okay, final best bet of the day. We go to our 2-leg parlay. Didn't like another money line, right? I'm taking the money line with the Nats. I'm looking through the picks today. I'm just like looking through the schedule. And it's just like, I don't like one. I was going to say A's minus 135, but I don't know about that. And then I was thinking, maybe we go Padres minus 105, I believe they are. But I was like, don't like that at all. And then I was like, maybe we'll just get a revenge play. We'll go Guardians money line against the Blue Jays. But that's just irresponsible at that point. I'm going to go 2-leg parlay here with the Giants and the Detroit Tigers. I feel good about the Tigers just because they lost yesterday. And I don't expect them to lose back-to-back. They're really good. They're 8 games over 500, the best team right now record-wise in the American League, and I expect them to win the series against the Angels. They were kind of due to lose one. That's fair. That was yesterday. Today, the Tigers should win, right? On the mound for them, it's Reese Olson. I mean, pretty much everyone in this Tigers rotation is pretty good. I'd argue Reese Olson's probably their worst guy, and yet this guy's still pitching with a 3.55 ERA and will give you about 7 strikeouts a game. He's really solid. And then for the Angels, they got Jack Kokonowicz. This guy's a 5.3 ERA. He gets blown up in every start. He's going to pitch potentially 6 innings every game, but he's going to get blown up. So not really concerned about that. You know how much I like the Tigers. I think this team's electric. Javier Baez has seen a career resurgence, which is great. It's better for the game of baseball when that guy's hitting the ball well. So I'm not too concerned about this. The Tigers got their, mandated loss out the way. And they should be able to win this series 3 of 4, right? And then they go to Colorado. Oh, man. That's a sweep coming up Tuesday through Thursday. So can't wait to put the Tigers in our parlays Tuesday through Thursday as well. I love the Tigers this year, man. This team's really fun. They start the year 0-3, and they've been 21-10 ever since. Yeah, seems good. Second leg of the parlay. This should come pretty easy, I'd hope. Again, I think both these are pretty easy, and we get even money for these two combined plus 100. Giants against the Rockies. Again, the Giants, kind of like the Tigers, got their one mandated loss out the way in this series, and that was the first game of the 4-game set on Thursday. They've won the second 2 on Friday and Saturday by a score of 4-0 and 6-3. Today, again, this Sunday game, it's May the 4th, and all the Star Wars geeks are going to be at the game. I was thinking about attending this baseball game today, and then I saw the ticket prices for the BB-8 jersey giveaway night, and I said, you know what? I don't need to see this game that bad, okay? I kid you not, guys. It was like $120 to get in the building if you want an actual seat, not like standing room. So I was like, you know what? I'll just sit at home. I don't need to pay $120 for this game. I just don't. Can watch this team in a week against the Diamondbacks for $8 on a Monday. Probably be a much better game than spending $120 on the Colorado Rockies. Anyways, the pitching matchup though is great for the Giants. It's Logan Webb versus Herman Marquez. I am expecting Marquez to finally get a good start. He's been really bad this year. ERA of 9.82. The Rockies have lost every start he's pitched in. The worst was that Dodgers game where he goes he gets 2 outs, 6 hits, 7 runs. It was ridiculous. Of course, he skipped the Nationals when he was pitching when the Rockies played the Nats. But anyways, I don't know how long Marquez's leash is, right? This is a guy who got shut down for the entire year last year with the Tommy John surgery. He's back and he hasn't looked good since. I don't know. Honestly, I could expect him to go about 6 innings against the Giants today and maybe only give up a couple runs because the Giants just will do that sometimes. But then I wonder, okay, well, how are the Rockies going to be able to score today? Logan Webb's pitching, right? Webb had a horrible start against the Padres. I wouldn't expect him to be bad in back-to-back starts. This guy's an all-star for a reason. Logan Webb, again, even with that horrendous start at Petco Park, ERA is 2.83, and now he gets to face the Colorado Rockies, who are arguably the worst lineup in all of baseball. So I'd expect Logan Webb to be great. Again, I do worry, and this is why I don't always pick the Giants, and I actually kind of try to fade the Giants as much as possible, is because I still don't trust this lineup. Like, yeah, Yaz has been really good. Jung-Ho Lee's elite. He's an all-star. The rest of the lineup, Elliot Ramos will have his days. The rest of the lineup really just concerns me every single day. Like, again, Adames, sure, I can see it, but, like, Adames, Chapman, Lamont Wade's horrible. Patrick Bailey's not very good. His glove's great, but, Luis Matos is just, everyone else in the lineup is just mid to me. That's why I try to stay away from the Giants as much as possible. But today we get the insurance of their starting pitcher in Logan Webb. And on top of that, they're facing German Marquez, who's got an ERA this season of 10. Again, that's going to change eventually. He might get that down to about 5 playing at Coors Field. Who knows? But I think, again, all things considered, with the pitching matchup and just in general, it's the Rockies. I think the Giants should be able to find a way to win this baseball game. So you tack on these two in the parlay, you get plus 100 for Giants money line and Tigers money line. 2 games played today in California, and we like the 2 big favorites again combined for plus 100. If you want to get on top of that, if you want something else, maybe throw the Red Sox in here too. They're playing the Twins. We all know the Twins suck, and the pitching matchup's Chris Paddock and Garrett Crochet. You probably get the parlay to plus 170 with that. I don't mind it. I'm just not going to say a 3-leg parlay is the best bet today. But personally, I don't mind it at all. I really don't see a world where the Red Sox lose today. So, especially with Chris Paddock. And on top of that, cherry on top, yeah, Garrett Crochet is pitching too. So, anyways, that'll do it, folks, for our 5 best bets for May the 4th. So, I guess May the 4th be with you. How did this just become a Star Wars day every year? Anyways, Cinco de Mayo's tomorrow too. Really? I don't know. Anyways, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with anything. The pigs will be back later today for our NBA predictions and our UFC fight night. UFC 315. It's basically just a fight night, but UFC 315 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Those predictions later today on the channel as well. Folks, thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more.